Okay, so come left. We want to start our approach on this side of the bridge and land just past the bridge.
All right.
Go ahead and reduce your throttle down to about 3,300 now. You'll find out you have to move that throttle handle a long way to get to 3,300. Yeah, this is looking good, so just hold this for a moment. Our everything speed in this is 60 knots, but when it's this bumpy, just do your best. Before water landing checklist, the landing light is set to pulse.
Yep.
See the one bilge pump down here?
Yep.
Turn that on for me. Okay, so now we're pumping water if we take any on. And the last part is we look and see that the gear is confirmed up and blue because we're going to touch down on the water.
All right, gear's up and blue, bilge pump's on.
All right, so I'm going to take flight controls here. Like I say, I'll show you how to do one or two, and then we will get you doing your own. So some of the things to think about in a seaplane versus your land plane. The number one gotcha out here on the lake for us is going to be boat wake that we didn't see.
Yep.
Right, we're always watching for obstacles and things to hit. That's obvious, but it's the wave that you didn't see coming that's really going to ruin our day. So we're always looking for that. But otherwise, we're just going to go down here and have some fun. So our water landing is a lot like the soft field landings that you teach. We just want a nice stabilized approach, get the ground effect, back the throttle down just a bit, and hold a level attitude until we touch the water.
We're going to stay on step for a little while, right?
That's correct. And probably the hardest part you're going to have at first is you're going to want to flare and touch those main wheels first, right? We don't want to do that here. We want to touch that sweet spot on the hull, just like when we're on step. All right, the water ahead is clear. We got no boats, no birds, no logs. We've got a slight crosswind from the right, but it is getting a little bit weaker as we get towards the water. I'm just picking a point out ahead. It doesn't have to be anything specific, but just as a good reference. Feel myself in the ground effect. I reduce the throttle just a pinch, and you're going to hear the water clicking. We're on the water. So on step, right, I'm just giving myself enough power to not be able to fly yet. We're turning back and forth, steering with our rudders. Right, and what I'm doing with the ailerons is just keeping the airplane level. Alright, so as I turn, the airplane is going to want to bank, and I got to not let it do that. I'm just holding it level. Okay, we're going to power up and go. Full power. When it's ready to fly, it'll fly.
I can feel the acceleration when we get off of the water.
Yes.
It's not dragging us anymore.
Yep, and different surfaces will have different amounts of drag. What I mean by that, right now this is about the perfect surface where it's a little bit wavy, a little bit rippled. Smooth water is nice and soft to land on, but it's hard to see the surface and there's a lot of drag. And of course, as the water gets wavier, it gets more and more uncomfortable to land on. All right, your controls?
All right, my controls.
Cool. So there's a boat coming, so we're going to get beyond that boat before we do another water landing here.
So what looked weird to me is that attitude of keeping it level like that the whole way, because we're still slightly pointed down, it felt like.
Yep.
And then how much power did you add once we touched down?
Whatever it took to keep me right there near the flying speed without being at it.
Okay.
At some point, we'll find some good water down here, and we'll do a full displacement landing where we come to a stop.
Okay.
And you'll be able to see, what it means to plow taxi and how very different it is when you're not on step. Okay, so that boat's by. My controls here again.
Your controls.
And you're welcome to stay on the controls with me for this one if you want to feel exactly what I'm doing as we touch down. All right, so we don't want to hit his wake, but right where he drove, the water's flat, right? The wake's going away from that, so he kind of made his little runway. All right, just looking, a lot of wind right here. A little bit, right? Yeah, I'm gonna go around on that one. When we got to that finger, we got a significant increase in that crosswind, so you can feel it pick us off the water and start turning us to the right.
Right, don't want that.
No, we don't need any of that. All right. Let's go see if we can find a smoother part of the lake.
I think that's a good idea. It seems like crosswind technique on a seaplane is a lot more complicated.
It is, but the nice thing with being on the water is you could probably find somewhere that's into the wind.
Right. This is such a fun perspective that I'm not used to.
Yeah.
Usually we're so much higher off of everything.
When it's smooth, we'll fly at 10 feet, 20 feet off the water, and just keep it there.
Basically just another boat then.
Yeah, exactly. I think we ought to be able to find some smooth water on this. Controls again.
My controls.
We're up and out of most of the nasty stuff. So once you pass this point, we'll take a left and go that direction.
All right. The funny thing about being this low is I also feel super safe because if we had an engine failure, there's so many places to go.
No, just pick any big open area of water and put it on. The other thing about this whole design is you can land gear up, and it's not really going to damage the airplane. It's just going to slide. So especially if we found some wet grass or a field we were over, we would just land gear up, and it would be totally fine.
So it's part of why we were getting those crazy winds in that channel because it's just the wind going around all the terrain.
Yeah,
making weird things happen just like around hangars.
Exactly, and you can see it down here. If you look on the lee side of these islands, the water's calm, right?
Oh yeah.
So you can see where you're going to go into areas of gusty or stronger winds. And then the lake itself this time of year can develop, I don't want to say its own weather, it's not quite big enough for that, but the idea you've got a body of water here that's going to be significantly different temperature than the air around it and above it. So it can generate some of those inflow currents so that you just have strong winds coming to or from the lake the whole time. So now, with the way the wind is, it's probably going to be real rough over there. So let's go to the right, see what we can find. That's over there, back past the dam is where I like to do some of the confined water landings. There's plenty of area for additional safety, but there's some just kind of natural borders that you can use that make you keep your turns tight. Alright, so you see that that finger up that way? What I want you to do is stay over the water, and then we'll make a right turn, and we're going to go up that river. Alright, see if the water's any calmer that way.
I can't tell if that wind gust noise I hear is from actual wind gusts or just the noise that struts me.
Oh,
maybe,
right.
Maybe both.
Probably both. Alright, so you see the lines in the water here?
Uh-huh.
So your lines develop when the wind gets in that like 13, 15 knot range, and they go along with the wind. So we can tell that the wind is coming from there this way, and it's at least like 10 or so knots on the water.
Right.
Over there, the water looks smoother. There's no guarantee that the air is going to be smooth, but the water certainly is.
And I can definitely tell the winds are affecting this a lot.
So be ready for a big bump here, because you see where that water changes?
Yeah.
And that, 10, 15, 20 knots of wind is being blocked by these trees. So we're going to get a pretty big jolt here momentarily.
Oh yeah, there it is. And we're going to get another one right, now as we come back in.
Yeah. But looking ahead, there's quite a bit of smooth water, so we want to see if this is going to work out. All right, so stay on the controls with me for this one.
All right, you have the controls?
Yep, my controls, and we will do a landing down here, see how it is. And we got a boat coming that way, so we're going to angle a little bit to the left. There we go. Yeah, this is way better area. That's a smoother touch than right. And see, we're going to get a little push here. Alright, powering up and taking off. Now as I power up, you feel I'm pulling the stick back just a little bit?
Yeah.
Because with that pusher prop on top, when you add power, it tries to nose you down.
Right.
So you got to pull back just enough to stay level. All right, I'm gonna let go your controls.
My controls.
Climb us up away, or up, and then turn us back that direction towards the smooth water again.
All right, once I get probably above these trees, another 100 feet higher.
Yeah, you can just follow the river.
Okay.
And go do a little turn around that island if you want. And we'll level off here about 1,000 feet.
And back to 4,700.
At 43. Yeah, 48's good if we're cruising somewhere. If we're kind of staying, doing water landings, 4,300 works well.
Should I keep the turn going, or should we go through this channel in front of us on the left?
Let's do a, yeah, you can turn and go over the channel there to the left. I just try to spread the noise around and stay as quiet and polite as we can.
Is that our wake in front of us? I think it is.
Yep, that's what we did. So you can see, it felt like we were on the water a lot longer than we were, right?
Right.
All right, this bird likes this area. We'll make sure to give him a berth. Okay.
Should I get turned down that way?
So I tell you what, this looks like good water and the wind is going this direction. So I want you to take me around that way, make a right turn, and come back so we can land towards that little island.
That's a good idea. So on that last landing, once you touched down, what were you doing with the rudder?
Just making sure that my feet had positive contact on both of them and tiny corrections to keep it going straight ahead. the airplane always wants the weather vane, of course, and it's way easier when it's on water.
Started.
Okay. Excellent. All right. So let's go pull the power way back here, and you stay on the controls. I'm going to try to talk you through this one.
All right.
I'm going to pull the power pretty far back. Just pick a point just to the right of that little island, and what you're doing now is just fine. Right. And just hold this sort of descent, this pitch attitude.
That's good.
You got to find something to make the surface easier to see, so like that dividing line. Yeah. Find ground effect,
which is
hold it
here.
Yep, and then just let the airplane sink onto the water. You got it, man.
So now we're gonna add a little.
We're gonna add power.
Aileron there.
Yeah, and let's pull up, and we'll turn to the right to avoid those flying right over the houses. Okay, let's just keep this right turn coming around here. All right. Coming around. We'll go back down the river there, so
right.
Spread our noise a little bit. We'll do a landing going down that way.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see how much of this you can do on your own.
Let's see.
Yep, go ahead and pull your power back to about 3,000. Get a little more aggressive descent going on so that we can do this landing in the calmer water. There you go.
About this pitch attitude, I can point towards the edge of that island in front of us.
Yep. We got no boats, we got no wing.
And when we start to feel ground effect, I'll just round out and not flare.
Yeah, you want to round out just a little before. So here comes our surface, we're about 10 feet. Yeah, and you just want to be able to fly this thing a foot or two off the water.
Hold it here,
yeah.
And we just touch down.
You got it, man.
Add a little bit of power, a little bit of aileron and rudder here, correct the crosswind.
Yeah.
And I'm pulling back a little bit to keep our nose off the water.
Well, you don't have to do that part so much.
It's to correct for the power, right?
Yes,
okay.
So as you add your power, let's go ahead and do that.
Add power, I'll pull back some more to correct for that. Yeah, I feel that. And then now we're still on step, accelerating, adding some rudder.
And we're about to get some crosswind here.
Yep. And we just got off the water. I feel the drag go away.
Very good. So just do a little like right and then a left to go back up that river. And now you can see the water really change here.
Oh,
so yeah, expect that.
This is the same place we got bumped before. About 47. How much of that was me and how much of that was you?
That was like 90%, 10%.
Cool.
All right, so bring that left turn around. Go back to where the water was nice. Switch fuel tanks for us.
Are we going to do a 180 and land in the same spot?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we found good water that we can not be super noisy over people's houses in, so we're going to work in that for a bit here.
I was surprised at how much control pressure I needed there at the end for both the crosswind and then keeping the nose up.
Yep.
Especially for how light this is all the other times. Nose up bump.
Right, so let's slow it back. We'll go about 40, 300 for just normal cruising around here. And for this approach, like say somewhere around 3,000, 3,200 seems to be working well.
And we want to probably touch down where the waves are relaxed, right?
Yep. Or at least where we're out of the crosswind, because I'm seeing those stripes right here and some foam buildup. So on the water there, it's probably 15 knots. Up here, it's almost calm.
Right. What about 37? I can drop it to 33.
Yep.
A little fast here. I need some left rudder. Coming in, I see a white boat straight ahead from my seat. I'll point just towards that. We'll start to round it out a little here.
Yep.
And then
And you got miles, so just play with that right over the water. Excellent. That's the feeling you want. And you
There
feel
we
how
go.
the
Yeah, we
airplane
touched
lowered
it.
itself on?
Excellent. Add a little bit of power so we don't slow down too much. There's some left rudder there at aileron.
Yeah.
More power here.
Good.
Aileron
About to
again.
find some crosswind and some
Yep.
bumps.
That's more power. Don't want to get too much slower than this. And let's get going again.
All right. There we go.
Yep.
So we found wakes that we couldn't see, right?
Yep.
That's what got us hopping so much. And then, I don't know if you could hear it, I engaged the turbo.
Yeah.
That really helped get us off the water.
All right.
All right, so you want to do one to displacement now?
Sure.
Excellent.
Are we going to do it here, or should we
No,
move?
we're going to do it here on the lee side of that island. So however you want to maneuver yourself, get turned around, go back that direction again.
Going to give us an extra 100 feet of altitude here.
Okay.
Bring that back to 4,300 and start a turn now.
Couple of big birds there. Don't have their airspace.
See two right ahead of us. And there's a boat to our right.
Yep, he should be all right.
We'll stay to the left, stay out of his way. We're faster than him, so his wake shouldn't be an issue, right?
That's correct.
Let's go down to 3,300 here. I'm trying to point us to where the water stops shimmering, where I can see where it's smooth. And so with this one, what's different when we come to a full stop?
We're gonna bring our power to idle
right.
and just let the boat do its thing.
So once I touch down, idle power?
Yep, got it on up.
We're gonna land long because I came in too fast. I had too much power in too long there. Alright, we're in ground effect about now. Waiting. Just there, we touched the water, I think.
There it is. Now we're all the way to idle. And then we're not gonna try to pull back too hard. But we're just gonna pull back. The airplane's gonna decelerate. And we're gonna feel yourself sort of sink backwards.
Right. There's the thing.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so you're at displacement. And it always falls over to the heavy side, and there's nothing that you can do about that.
Right.
And there's really not much you can do aside from this airplane is going to point itself in the wind. But what we can do is we can open the doors and touch the water.
What am I doing wrong? Can I take a picture?
Yeah, please, man.
That's pretty cool. That was my keys falling out.
Hopefully not of the airplane. Okay. That water's a little too cold for me to go diving for you today. All right, let me
Keys
see.
are in a zipped up pocket now, so we're good there.
Excellent. Let me see if I can get decent selfie of you in there.
Here, I'll move mine.
There you go. All right, man.
Thank you. My dad will think that's cool.
Got it. All right. So can you see the boat that was coming up behind us? Because
Yes, he's still a decent bit away.
Okay. Well, let's get the doors closed. All right. Now the wind is sort of coming from that direction. So we've got plenty of room ahead of us here. A displacement takeoff's a little bit weird in that we're going to do this series of like back, forward, back, forward. All right. So it's easier to just show you one than try to talk you through it. So you're welcome to stay on the controls with me. What we got to do is start here so that when we throttle up, it keeps our nose hopefully out of the water. And once it gets onto step or we start feeling that, we push forward to get on step. Then it wants to oscillate, so we got to pull back to stop that oscillation. And now we're just on step. And we do whatever's necessary to get this airplane flying. Green, let's get it up and flying. All right, your controls?
All right, my controls.
Your controls. All right, so I tell you what, let's do a left turn around here. Yep, and I'm gonna help you with that just so we can
end the climb.
Right, yeah. We want to stay where we can go play in the water here. Yep.
You got eyes on that boat again?
I do. It's over there. Perfect. All right. So what we want to do now is I want to do some high-speed step taxi turns with you. All right. So back here, we'll pull the power back to like 42. We don't want to find their wake. So I'm looking for probably land between where they were.
Yeah.
And that'll give us some room. And of course, the farther we go that way, the more it's expanding.
All right. You see their line right here?
I do. Yeah.
Perfect.
So go ahead and put us on the water.
All right. I'm gonna try to orient myself.
So back down to about 3,000 or so.
Turn, so we're oriented with their wake.
Yeah.
We're going to get out of the wind here in a second. Keeping it coming down. And here we're at balloon to there.
Sorry, we're entering that Crosswind area.
There, we just touched.
All right, nice. So we're going to power up.
All right.
Just a little bit. We don't want to take off again. We're going to stay on step. We're going to ride just through this area of strong wind. All right, and find some smoother water. As the water smooths out, you see how we got to add more power because we're getting more hydrodynamic drag. All right, excellent. So now we're going to start a right turn here. We're just going to step on the right rudder a little, and it's really going to start turning for us. So we're going to have to counter steer, and honestly, we might not be able to do too much with this wind picking up like that.
Yeah, this is all you on the controls right now.
Excellent. Well, then let's get off of this choppy water. The wave rating, if I remember correctly, is about 10 inches. Is kind of the max water wave size that they want you in. I've seen them do a whole lot more than that, but it's not at all enjoyable.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, it's picking up pretty good down here. All right, your controls if you want them.
Controls.
Okay, let's start working our way north.
Sounds good.
I'll bring you back down here on a nice smooth day where we can do some of the fun confined landings and tight step taxi and whatnot.
I would definitely be interested to do that.
Okay.
I was surprised at the things that felt normal and the things that didn't feel normal compared to flying land airplanes. Should I just climb back to 2,500?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.